Building an indie business in the center of venture capital. I am Alex Edmonds. People on the internet call me Supreme Rum Ham, and this is the Building an Indie Business podcast, recorded in the Indie Business Studio. Okay, so today, I'm going to do a revenue research piece on smashing themes. Because I have to create content related to smashing themes to get backlinks for smashing themes. And so I'm going to write a revenue research piece on smashing themes as content. So yeah, let's get into it. So expenses. So smashing themes is a Shopify store. So the expenses you have with a Shopify store are the domain, smashingthemes.com, the hosting fees, to have the ability to have a Shopify store, you have to pay Shopify for that privilege. Yes. And then plugins. So similar to WordPress and my problems with WordPress, Shopify is run on plugins. So instead of just letting a picture zoom, you have to find a zoom plugin for your website. But I actually don't know about the zoom on Shopify. I was talking about WordPress. Anyways, you see that's a point of anger for me. Yeah. So to recap, the expenses are the domain, the hosting fees, and the plugins that you would use. Okay. Revenue reducers. Okay. So, you have the transaction fees. So those are, Shopify, the credit card percentage that I'm always talking about. Damn it. Okay. And then affiliates. So you can have an affiliate program on Shopify and get people to sell your stuff for you, and then they get a percentage of each sale. So that 15 to 25% that the affiliate would get is a revenue reducer. It's something you can't avoid, but it's an expense that happens, right? Okay. Also, a final revenue reducer is maintenance for customers. So, sometimes there might be an error that comes up, for one of the themes that you build, and you have to go handle that. That's time, that's effort, that's something that, you have to spend time and effort doing, and that's money. Time is money. So that's a revenue reducer. Okay. Speaking of revenue, how do you make revenue with a Shopify theme store? Great question. Actually, it's a Shopify store that sells themes. Anyways, so there's the one-time purchase. Yeah, that's it for now. The one-time purchase. But there's revenue ideas, right? So eventually you can build more, you can build more themes, blah, blah, blah. And then you move into subscriptions, right? So you create like a Shopify plugin yourself and charge a monthly fee for people to use that theme, right? Not theme, that subscription service, right? And then also, another revenue idea is bulk orders. So there are people that want to start like a WordPress website, and I'm building themes for them. Maybe there's like a company that wants to build, 3 to 5 Shopify or WordPress websites, and I can accommodate them, right? So give them a bulk discount and cater to their needs, right? Yes. Okay, and another revenue idea. So, the revenue idea is upgrades. So, what that means is you have the basic theme, and then as you upgrade it, it's not like your original product isn't it isn't like it isn't a lifetime product, right? So every time there's an upgrade, it's a new product, and you can give a discount for people that bought the existing theme. Like maybe you charge $10 for the upgrade, but if you already have this theme, it's $5, right? So that's another way to bring in revenue. Just have the basic and then upgrade it, right? Okay. Growth. So how do I grow smashing themes from, one-time purchases to more revenue? That's a great question. The first thing that I thought of is hire theme developers. So, I can only work so fast, right? But if I hire more people, that'll scale my product inventory, in quotes, and that would bring more people to the website because I have everything SEO'd, and hopefully get more sales. In theory, I would get more sales, right? Okay. Another growth idea I have is to expand to different platforms and different themes, right? So there's WordPress, but also there's Shopify itself, where I can learn to create Shopify themes. There's Ghost. There's Drupal. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. So that's another way to grow. Okay. Then there is Web3, and I put Web3 ? Because I don't know. I'm actually going to do an episode on this, but I don't know if there's like a platform for Web3 web development where I can create themes for Web3 people. So yeah, okay. And then another growth opportunity is courses, teaching other people. So what I can do is basically like what I did for the Open Podcast book, where I just wrote a bunch of content and then I put it together and I put it in a book, right? So I could write all this content and then write a book. And I'm going to do another episode on this also. But, in theory, more content will bring in more people. And that's another way to grow, right? But you can say that's SEO. But, whatever. And then partnerships. So there's competition in the theme building community. And I could partner with them and, expand my audience, right? Okay. Problems. Okay. As I just said, competition, right? So how do you navigate that competition? My solution is SEO, of course. So making it so people can find me on Google when they research like WordPress themes. I want to show up there, right? There's also paid media. I work in paid media, and I can take that knowledge and apply it to WordPress themes. And then that's another way to stand out because, I get one of those first 4 spots on Google when I use paid media. So that's another way. There's also marketplaces. So there's a bunch of places where people can look to find WordPress themes, and I can also put my themes on WordPress or those marketplaces and stand out on those marketplaces, and I use SEO and my knowledge of SEO to come up first when people search WordPress themes on those platforms. And it doesn't cost me anything to be put on those marketplaces, right? And I can always link people back to smashing themes, right? So when they want tips and services, they come back to me and not whatever marketplace I put the web or my themes on. Okay. And then another one of my solutions is to niche down. So I can specifically build themes on WordPress for a specific niche, like indie makers or food bloggers, people like that. And that way it's not very broad. It's a small audience. And when I get one, indie maker, they will tell their friends, and that's how I grow, right? Okay. Another problem is there are only a few platforms that cater to digital downloads. So this is a problem because obviously WordPress themes are digital, and I have to take another step or extra steps to make my theme or my website look nice, right? So the solution to this problem is to take things in my own hand and customize, my website as much as possible. There are themes on Shopify that, they're mostly meant for drop shipping websites or product or like physical product websites. So I can take one of those and just figure out what I need to add and then go in the back end of Shopify and write that stuff myself or create that stuff myself, right? Okay. Returning customers is another problem I'm thinking of right now. So once people buy my theme, in theory, they don't need another one, right? Because I built the perfect theme in theory. So that's all they need. So how do I get returning customers? And the solution to this problem is to offer services. So like maintenance or just teaching people how to use different features of the platform. So yeah, that's one thing. And then every platform is different, right? So when I expand to other platforms, from WordPress to Shopify to Drupal to another platform that I can think of right now, they all have their uniqueness, let's say. And the solution to that problem is to connect with people on every platform. Like the platform, like people at the companies, right? People at WordPress, people at Shopify, join committees or whatever and influence their policies to make every platform as I want and fix the problems that I want to be fixed, which would make my life easier, right? Okay. And then another problem that I'm thinking of or having is pricing. I don't know what I should be pricing my products at. And the way to, overcome this issue is to research the competition. So, look at independent Shopify stores that also sell WordPress themes and see how much they're charging for. They're pricing their products, not charging for. Look at all those theme marketplaces and see how much they're charging, and then undercut them because there's extra fees when it comes to marketplaces, right? So yeah, that's the problems that I've run into. Speculation. There's lots of competition out there, and I need to make myself stand out, right? So, offer services, use SEO, use paid media. Those are things that the people that run Shopify theme or Shopify stores that sell themes, they might have issues with. Paid media is a skill, right? So I have that skill. I can use it to my advantage, and that way I stand out because I can use my paid media skills to be at the very top of the search results, and people will click on it and they won't even bother scrolling down, right? So I stand out like that. And also another thing I'm thinking of is that social media promotion isn't enough. So now my product is not written, right? It's not a book. So that might not look as good on Twitter, and I have to use other platforms, but I don't know how well images of websites will do, so I don't think social media promotion isn't going to be useful to me. But I don't know. I have to research this. I haven't yet. Okay. And then I have other speculation. So the Rainforest website, which I've never used that phrase on the podcast before, but the Rainforest website that we all know and dislike, at least on this podcast, people are looking to get away from that website, right? And then they'll go to me because I am just one guy, and they know that because I present myself on the website as one guy, right? And then also the Rainforest website doesn't really cater to niche digital products. So they sell like gift cards and things like that, ebooks, but they don't sell WordPress themes, and I can use that to my advantage. And I don't have to worry about them, starting to create WordPress products and taking over whatever market share I get. It's not even market share, whatever sales I get. I don't want a significant amount of market share. I don't want 1% of the WordPress theme industry. Like, if I'm making $5,000 to $7,000 a month, I'm okay with that. And that's like 0.00001% of the WordPress theme market. Yeah. Okay. Risks. What are the risks? What are the rules? Okay. So, one risk that I will encounter is platform changes. So, I don't own WordPress, so they make decisions without me, right? And I have to deal with those changes and learn how to navigate them. And so I might have to make a change to all my existing products. And that's a risk I'm going to have to deal with, right? And then platform controls. They might just, decide that smashingthemes.com, all their themes are trash. And if anyone uses that, they might have an issue, right? Okay. And another risk I'm taking is that people might not trust a new store. So I have to figure out a way to build trust on the store and use that to make more sales, right? And then another thing I'm hearing that's a kind of risky, but not too much, is seasonal traffic. So I've been hearing, because I've been reading and consuming Shopify content, is that there's like a time when specifically people they really get into eCommerce and building stores, and that's seasonal traffic. So I have to figure out how to navigate around the off season, right? So that's risky because one month I might be making $3,000 a month, and then the next month, because it's out of season, I might be making $1,000. That's something I have to think about. Okay, my opinion. The reason why I like digital products is because I hate shipping. So having a store that sells WordPress themes, a digital product, is great. So yeah. Another thing that I have thought about is that as WordPress or Shopify grows, that creates more demand for my products. So that's great. Yes. Okay. And then I've always had issues with marketplaces where I don't control the margins. So I will sell something for $100, but then they change their fee structure, and I used to be making $80 from that, and then all of a sudden I'm making $70. But here, with my own Shopify store, the costs are fixed and I can control the margins, right? Okay. And then with selling something on Shopify and selling WordPress products, I have a lot of reading material. So when I get stuck, I can always just Google my problem and there will be a solution, right? So that's great. That's fantastic. Okay. And then the growth of my store benefits the platforms. So as my store grows on Shopify, that benefits them because they take fees, right? So there's a lot of reading material, and I can always reach out to Shopify and the people that work at Shopify, and they will help me fix any problem that I have, right? Okay. And then there are many marketing options, SEO, email, paid media, social. And I at one point had a rainforest store, right? I also started dabbling in the yellow and green and red, like auction website. And I didn't own the data. No, I didn't have as many options as I did for marketing. Like, they don't give you the emails, right, of the customers. So I couldn't promote my products through email, right? And then I couldn't SEO the product pages because I didn't have access to the back end, right? And that goes along with now on Shopify, I own the data of the customer, so I can send emails. I have access to the back end. I can SEO the website, paid media, whatever. I can create ads. Social's always there. That's one good thing about social. Okay. So the reason why my rainforest website my rainforest store no longer exists is because it got deleted. And with Shopify, there's hardly any risk of that. I have to be doing something really shady for Shopify to delete my store. But selling WordPress themes is not very shady unless I somehow make it shady, which I won't. So that's something. Okay. And so I've dabbled in the Rainforest website. When I was 19, I had a store selling t-shirts on a platform. I had 3 different stores on 3 different platforms. And all my products my best sellers got deleted, and that took a chunk out of my revenue. So that sucked. That's another thing that I think of when I think of deleted. And there was a lot of marketplace algorithms. So as you sold more products, your rank in their algorithm went up. So I was on the 3rd page and I started making sales, and then I got on the 1st page. And that's the same thing with the Rainforest website and other marketplaces. They have algorithms that, and then I can accept any currency that I want. That's another benefit. I can accept crypto, I can accept euros, I can accept my native currency, So yeah. And then I've already talked about this, but the Rainforest website can't sell or doesn't want to sell digital products, so that gives me an advantage, and that's something I don't have to worry about. Okay. That's all I have for this episode. Super long. Thank you for listening. If you made it to this part, let me know. Email me, tweet me, e-commerce stuff, or e-commerce revenue research. Those 3 words. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.